Hey guys, welcome to your 2.8 guided notes for your algebra class today. Today we're setting up proportions, so I can set up a proportion as our essential question. And our example one is that we're going to solve for percentages, okay? Think about when we have talked about percentages, we usually talk about anywhere from 0 to 100%, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? I'm going to use fractions such as 10 over 100, which would give me 10%. If I wanted 50%, I'd have it as 50 over 100, which equals 50%. So just in terms of what we're going to be using today, make sure that we're writing over everything as over 100. You'll see that in the guided notes as well. So I'm going to try to find 50% of 70. So I'm going to set this up as a proportion. So I'm trying to find 50%. I write 50% as 50 over 100. And I'm trying to find what 50% of 70 is. The number that I have is 70. I don't know what 50% of it is, so that's going to be my x value. I'm cross multiplying, just like I've been doing the past 2 weeks. I do x times 100, which gives me 100x. 50 times 70, I know 5 times 7 gives me 35. I add the 2 zeros at the end. I end up with 3,500. I then need to divide each side by 100 to undo the multiplication that's happening here. I'm dividing, these cancel out. I'm left with x equals, if I divide 3,500 divided by 100, I end up with x equals 35. So I know that 50% of 70 is 35. Okay, one quick way I can just double check that is I can do 70 divided by 2, because half of 70 is 50%, and I can see that it is 35. 50%, 50% of the number. 100%, 100% of the number. Now you're going to sometimes be asked to find more than 100% of a number. So in this situation, the percentage I'm trying to find is 240%. And what am I going to try to find 240% of? 65. So we're going to have to solve it this way. I'm going to cross multiply, just like I did before. I end up with 100x equals 240 times by 65. I get 150 or 15,600. Divide each side by 100 again to undo the multiplication that's happening there. I get 156. 156 is 240% of 65. That is my answer. We move down to example 2. What percentage, sometimes we're going to try to find a percent, okay? What percentage of 50 is 10? So I don't know what the percentage is in this situation, so I'm going to leave my percentage as x. Of 50, 50 is my number, 10 is what I have for what I'm trying to find it is, what percentage it is. Going to cross multiply just like we did in the past. I end up with 1,000 equals 50x. Divide each side by 50. Divide each side by 50. These cancel out. 1,000 divided by 50 gives me 20 equals x. And what does my x stand for again? It's the top number over my 100, so it equals to 20%. 10 is 20% of 50. We move this down. We look at the bottom one. I have 210 is what percent of 200? So 210 is what percent of 200? So we're going to write it as 210 is what percent of 200. I don't know what my percentage is yet, but I'm going to set it over 100 though. And cross multiply. I end up with 21,000 equals 200x. Divide each side by 200 to undo the multiplication. 2100 21,000, sorry. I end up with x equals 105, or 105%. So I know that 210 is 105% of 200. If you flip your page, we're going to look at example 3. Our example 3, 60% of what number is 24? So again, I'm kind of trying to figure this out here. I'm having a 60 over 100. I don't know what the number is, so that's why I'm going to label it as x. I'm trying to solve for what 60% of what number is 24. So I set up in these terms. I'm going to cross multiply, just like I do here. 24 times 100 is 24,000. And it's equal to 60x. I then just need to divide by 60 because I'm undoing the multiplication. Those cancel. 2400 divided by 60. I end up with 40. 24 is 60% of 40. That's how I write this out. Down the bottom, 7 is 0.4% of what number? So I know my percentage, I'm gonna write that over 100. So 0.4%, that's the percentage we're trying to find. 7 is 0.4% of what number? We know that these are the same. We're trying to figure out what the number itself is, sorry. Again, the tops are the same, trying to figure out what the number is at the bottom, what my 100% is. I'm going to cross multiply just like we have done in the past. 7 times 100 is 700, equals to 0.4 times x. I now need to divide by 0.4 to undo the division, multiplication that's happening. Take my calculator, do 700 divided by 0.4. I end up with 1750 equals x. So 7 is 0.4% of 1750. Make sure again you're summarizing down here at the bottom. Your practice problems today, we only have 8 of them. They go fairly quick today. Make sure that when you're finished with this, that it goes back in your red folder so that way it can be returned to school on Monday, November 2nd. Make sure your name's in your packet as well. Thanks, guys.